Welcome to Manifest Anything You Can Imagine podcast, the podcast that empowers you to turn your dreams into reality using the law of attraction. I'm your host, Papi DiNuzzo, and together we'll dive into the mindset, strategies, and energy shifts you need to create the life you've always envisioned. Whether it's health, wealth, happiness, love, relationships, or spirituality, inspired by my transformative book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine, each episode brings you practical tools, inspiring stories, and bold insights to unlock your limitless potential. Get ready to manifest your greatness, and let's dive in.
Give a fish, teach to fish, delivering hope. A Paying It Forward self-improvement and personal development charitable community outreach initiative. Founded, supported, and funded by DiNuzzo Private Wealth, Inc. Thank you for joining us today. Papi has been inspiring his fellow brothers and sisters in need all over the world. And because of the technology that we have available, he's able to speak in countries as far away as Africa. And now with his social media launch, Papi's able to reach out and connect with even more people no matter where you are. So if you're looking for an inspirational speaker, whether virtual or in person, please book Papi to speak for free to your nonprofit group or organization that would love to hear his message of hope, inspiration, abundance, and peace of mind. Also, I just want to remind everyone, I'm very excited to announce that Papi has expanded into social media. You can find Papi Mindset Coach on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, Twitter, and Facebook. Please like, subscribe, and share Papi Mindset Coach social media links so that you can assist him in promoting the important message of hope and inspiration to our fellow brothers and sisters in need all around the world. Let's go to Papi now to set the table. Good morning, Papi.
Morning, Mikey. Good morning, Suzanne. How's everybody doing today?
Good, thank you.
Thank you so much. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you, to all of our fellow brothers and sisters, to both of you and all our fellow brothers and sisters. And thank you both for putting together such a great show today. And again, I remind us all the time, whenever we're talking, I'm always coming from the highest point possible, from a point of pure spirituality. I never talk about religion. I never make any suggestions as to religion. What my message that is to be delivered to you, that flows through me, is one, to inform you, my fellow brothers and sisters, inform you as well as possible. And a lot of times this is information you've never been exposed to, you've never heard of before. So that's what I'm here for. And I'll refer to universal intelligence, universal subconscious mind, universal light, source power, and source energy. And again, this is just spirituality at its very highest level. I never make any suggestions. You know in your heart of hearts who the creator of this universe is. You plug that in. When I'm speaking with you, as Mikey said, we've got an outreach that goes into many continents across the globe. And it's always interesting with fellow human beings that they think that their world is the most normal world on earth, and that's sort of all they can imagine. But there are a lot of different belief systems all across even any country or continent, let alone across the entire globe. So I ask you to keep an open mind and just plug in what you know, what you believe in your heart of hearts to be true. We're always giving gratitude. We always start off our day, and I always remind us, it's your win your morning, win your day, win your morning, win your day. So as soon as you wake up, Thomas Troward, Troward, he referred to 5 a.m. as the magic hour, the magical hour. And he felt that we were closest in contact with universal intelligence at this time. I suggested it's whenever you wake up. You don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. It could be 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. But the point is, before you come into contact with technology, social media, the television, the news, other human beings, etc., stay in that zone. That is the sweet spot. The portal's open with the universe. The widest that it's open would be in the middle of the night. You could say at 3 or 4 a.m. So 5 a.m. is real close to that. So when you wake up, you've got a great opportunity before you come in any contact with any social media. Give gratitude, affirmations, give thanks, be in appreciation, be in gratitude. When you wake up, the morning ritual I talk about with you all the time, just 5 or 10 or 15 minutes as soon as you wake up. And again, you're eliminating bad habits, you're incorporating good habits into winning your day. Every one of my fellow brothers I talk to understands that they need to win their day to get 1% better and to improve and manifest anything they can imagine. And when I talked about it, when do you think that you are winning your day? You win your day in your morning. And let's win it as soon as you wake up first thing and get that positive momentum going. So win your morning and win your day. Again, fellow brothers and sisters, I am so happy and grateful now that we all live in a thought world, within a perfect and infinite universe, within a perfect and infinite thought universe, all operating under perfect and infinite universal laws. This is the universal way, how the universe operates under these perfect and infinite universal laws. I'm even more happy and grateful now that you and I, even by the fact of just being here today, you and I have been educated. We've received an invitation and we're being educated as to the thought world we live in within this perfect and infinite thought universe. And I am most happy and grateful now. I am most happy and grateful now for all of you, and myself. The universal intelligence knows our name. The universal intelligence truly desires in its heart of heart for you to live your best life, for you to live your best life, and for you to manifest anything you can imagine. You have creative power that resides within you, the greatest power in the universe. You are here to express, expand, increase, and grow. And that's my purpose, is to inform you, to teach you. And once you understand this game of life and what are the rules of the game, that's what I'm teaching you and coaching up on all the time. So first I'm here to inform you and teach you, and then coach you up as to the game of life and the rules of this game for you to be successful. And I say, until you figure out and you're in a very good sweet spot on how to manifest anything you can imagine, I say to stay laser focused and just stay focused on my book. That's the purpose of my book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine, to read at least one page every day and or listen to at least one page every day. I have tons of people who tell me all the time, and there's all kind of different combinations, reading it while listening to it in the background, just listening to it, actively listening to it, passively listening to it. I have tons of people who listen to it in the background. I have one gentleman I was just talking to yesterday, Mikey, who loves it, and he was playing classical music. He has a wonderful bird collection. These are just fantastic, a lot of exotic birds that he has. And he said he would play them exclusively classical music. And when he goes out and feeds them and spends time with them, sometimes he'll go out and spend like an hour or so straight with them, maybe even longer. And even when he's not there, instead of playing the classical music, he's playing my book with me. I'm reading my book. It's in my voice on Audible. He's playing it for them, and he claims they love it as much or even more than the classical music. So that was one I just heard yesterday. That was quite interesting. But even just listening to it in the background, raising your elevation. I have another gentleman, Mikey, I was talking about. He's a professional producer. He works in the movie industry. And he said that he's enjoyed just listening to my book in the background. And instead of going on social media or having the news on in the background, he summed it up real simply, Mikey. He said, Pappy, it's so great because the book just comes through as positive after positive after positive and great vibration after great vibration after great vibration. And he said, why have something on that's negative coming at me? I have to worry about protecting myself or canceling or rejecting and everything else. He said, just it's like a free lunch, so to speak, is how he phrased it. Just this great positive information in the background, filling up his mind for an hour or two at a time or even longer. Some folks are just playing it all day long. So very powerful. One woman who is overseas told me that as soon as she started engaging us between reading and listening, she told me that she felt, quote unquote, the Pappy effect within just a few days of starting this, that she felt elevated to a new level and felt like sort of she was unbound, like the chains came off of her, and she was more open, etc. But she called it the Pappy effect. So however it affects you, there are just so many of our fellow brothers and sisters, Mikey, who are searching. Their subconscious mind is telling them, please get informed. Please learn about this. Understand how the universe works. Understand the universal laws. You're having challenges. You've been at this for 20, 40, 60, 80 years or longer. You're not getting the grades on your report card of life that you would care to. And your subconscious mind is telling you the answer's out there. Please, let's strive for it. Let's go for it. They're telling you you're in harmony with it here. So I just tell you, now that you found this, and again, my book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine, is the update on Think and Grow Rich from 100 years ago. So that's the way that I look at it. And that's a ton of feedback I've got just from a ton of people, how they look at it as well. So again, win your morning, win your day, great habits. We're going in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind, which contains your paradigm, has a virus. This is your software operating system from which you operate. You have so many human beings have so many repetitive habits that they do every day, not just physically, but mentally. And I'm here to help you reprogram your software operating system, because in your paradigm lives your beliefs. That's where your beliefs reside. And a lot of these beliefs, 100%, were placed there and embedded there before you were age 6 or age 7. And then even after that, you did not cancel, reject, or defend yourself in a proper manner for years and years, maybe decades and decades. So I'm here. This is fixable. This is doable. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. We're moving forward, and I'm going to get you to the point where you're going to enjoy a quantum leap. And in 1 year, you're going to barely recognize your former self. And in 5 years, you're not going to recognize your former self at all. You are going to have improved that much. So again, read or listen to at least one page every day. Recently, Mike, had a great experience with Billy Carson, who I've come to know somewhat, getting to know him better, and the mind, body, and spirit community, MBS, I call it, mind, body, and spirit community around Billy. So he's an expert in a certain part of the world regarding ancient civilizations and different things. And when he and I talk, it's sort of the combination of coming together, because I'm coming from a perspective of spirituality. Billy's he's sort of like a scientific genius. He's very, very intelligent with any and all things regarding science. When he starts talking, he's mentioned things that I can't even understand. He's forgot more than I know, so to speak. But he's coming from a scientific perspective. I'm coming from a spiritual perspective, and we just come together anytime we're talking like this, and it branches off, and I just see the outline of a cross every time, the way that comes together like in neon lights. But you have a very good community. I'm happy to be collaborating with him. And just a reminder, Mikey, what you said, and I got a positive feedback. I was just WhatsApping with Madam Pamela, school teacher and guidance counselor from Nakuru, Kenya, the other day, and she told me how happy she was, and she's been spreading the word in social media regarding sometimes we underestimate technology in other countries or even third world countries, but it pleased me very much to know that there are a number of folks in her circle who do have access to social media and are on social media. So as you said earlier, Mikey, for us to be able to spread the message, this message of love, this message of hope, inspiration, abundance, and peace of mind, that was very, very encouraging. So she's spreading the word for us. She's working all throughout Kenya. And the last email she sent me, she was so excited. There were so many platitudes and everything in the email, so many positive phrases and comments. And then she just ended it towards the end. She said, "This is going to be big." And she put a bunch of I's, like BIIIIIG, and 2 or 3 exclamation points. So she's very excited about us expanding into social media to be able to spread this message of hope, inspiration, abundance, and peace of mind all across all 4 corners of the entire globe. So thank you so much for the reminder earlier on that, Mikey.
Yeah. It's so important. Like you said, the word community, and sometimes you just think of something local, but like your community is so far reaching, it's all around the world. So, and it's nice to know that we all have the same common, we just want to grow and expand. And it's so important to be around others that, share your same belief and your high vibrations. And, the more people that you connect with, the more people that can help spread this positive message. So, and that's what Miss Pamela's doing. You mentioned Billy Carson. These people all want to spread your message, and the more we connect, the better we can do that. So, and you mentioned about your audiobook and staying in your high vibrations, listening to that. And another thing that you also do to keep us in a positive mindset is to send out a weekly email with 2 concepts to live by to everyone on our mailing list. You're always reminding us that repetition is our key to manifesting. And with so much negativity around some of us, you want to provide us all with a positive message every week. And I know that you want to share one of your concepts to live by with us today, Pappy. Which one would you like to share?
Yeah, Mikey, one of your special gifts is always shining light on something positive and reminding me of something additional that's positive about it. So that is definitely a special gift that you have. And when you were just talking there, you did it again about spreading this word. It just reminded me, I was on since our last show that we had done, I was on a Zoom with a group that Hawa Hawa Salih, who's just a wonderful person. She's been such an asset working with me to reach out to our fellow brothers and sisters in Uganda and Sudan, especially South Sudan, and into Rwanda. And she told me, she said, Pappy, I'm going to get a bunch of people together that are like-minded like us, and they're still there, they're on the ground, and there's a lot of challenges. And we had a very nice Zoom meeting last week, and there was about 9 or 10 of our fellow brothers and sisters. Actually, it was about 8 or 9 women and one gentleman who were on the Zoom. And the one gentleman on the Zoom, his name is Yafar, and Yafar said, and I just met him. It was the first time, and he said, "Pappy, I want to help you spread this message as far as I can in my country, and as far as I can go with it." I mean, when I was first start talking with him, Mikey, when I first started, because anytime I talk to a new audience like that, I'll just start talking about the basics and say, have you ever heard of manifesting? What does manifesting mean to you? Have you ever heard of the law of attraction? What does the law of attraction mean to you? And these folks, it was a very it was like not much there, so to speak. And there's nothing wrong with that. So this is someone who's not really familiar with manifesting or the law of attraction or anything. So his subconscious mind was receiving that impression of increase that I was sending out. And it was receiving it. His subconscious mind was telling me afar, there's something here. And obviously everyone on that call and that Zoom, they've all got hearts as big as a continent. I mean, these are just such wonderful people to hear what they're doing and how they're helping their fellow brothers and sisters in their communities. One woman is in charge of a tent kind of community for about 17,000 people. She's helping a group of around 17,000 people who are in transition in one of these countries. So when you talk to these people, it's just such a humbling experience. They're so honest and so genuine, and so they're so humble themselves, and their hearts are just so big. And again, that was one gentleman right there, just from one interaction. He says, Pappy, I want to learn as much as I can about this, and I want to work. And that's why I say, Mikey, I'm here to collaborate. And that's a key word you mentioned earlier, to collaborate with our fellow brothers and sisters. So that's just how it touches over and over again. As you see, Mikey, it's just like a exponential type of process. We meet someone and they're telling multiple people, they're telling multiple people. So it's just wonderful to see this continue to progress. On the concepts to live by, these are the concepts I have that I've got around 90 or 100 of these that I recorded, because a lot of information I'm sharing, you're not hearing anywhere else. It gets back to Andrew Carnegie, Mikey, when he said, when he was getting older, he said, I've accumulated a 400, this is in today's dollars, a $400 billion empire, financial empire. And I've accumulated every single dollar. I came to this country from Scotland and I didn't have a penny to my name, only the shirt on my back. And I've accumulated a $400 billion empire in a very, very, very specific way. He said, they don't teach this in college. There's no books that you can go and buy on this topic. I never read about it in the newspaper. So this is where it comes from, is teaching this. So we inform our fellow brothers and sisters first about this, and then teaching about what it is, just the basics, just that they have this creative power within them and how to access it, and then coaching them up on it. So we're sending out 2 concepts to live by every week. We send these out, I believe, every Tuesday. There's an email. There are videos from 2, 4, 6, or 8 minutes in length explaining, came up with about 90 concepts that, from feedback that I got, our fellow brothers and sisters, in reading the book, were not really certain what this is. Can you give me some more information? I've never heard of this before, etc. So we'll go through at least 1, if not 2 today, Mikey, that we haven't covered yet, working through our list. The first one is success, or successful. So success is one of the concepts lived by we sent out recently. And I think of Earl Nightingale. Earl Nightingale had a great definition regarding success. He said success is progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And I just love that one. It's progressive realization. So you're progressing, and it's a worthy ideal, what you're working on, that it's admirable, it's worthy. That would be success. So again, we are here, all of our fellow brothers and sisters who are tuning in today. We're here to further express, expand, increase, and grow. And our growth is not primarily, first and foremost, to get. The universe will deliver to you. You will get, you will receive. But it's to grow. It's not to get. It's all about growth. It's not about getting. So we're here to grow. And by growing, we're contributing to the whole entire environment, the whole entire ecosystem, not just human ecosystem, but every living being around us, every single living being around us, everything that's living, that's growing, plants, mountains, animals, everything that you can think of in the ocean, on land, everywhere. So we're here to further express, expand, increase, and grow. And that's really where we define success. The success is, and I say, Mikey, I get asked a good bit, Pappy, there's an awful lot here. You talk about delivering hope, inspiration, abundance, and peace of mind. And folks will say quite frequently, can you simple it down? Can you distill it down to its essence and then help me get to that? Then I can build it from there. And I sum it up with one word every single time, Mikey, and the word is love. Love is at the epicenter of the universe. That is what everything is all about, is about having love, generating love, sharing love. So love is at the epicenter. And if that's number 1A is helping our fellow brothers and sisters. We are here to help each other. You have to start with yourself. The universe always makes that point. You're not going to be able to help someone else. You're leading by example all the time, just not by talking, just not by mere words. You're leading by example. And human beings, when they see a human being, they'll follow actions a lot more than words, like not do as I say, do as I do. They're looking do as you do. They are watching how you behave. And it reminds me all the time, Mikey, when I saw research years ago, and when they ask people the classic question, can you let me know, who you look up to, and why do you look up to them? And when they ask this question, a lot of times you think that in your formative years, when you're young and you're growing up, there's a real large impressions made on you. You could be in middle school, junior high school, even before you get into high school, you're starting to form some very strong opinions and what impresses you, what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad. And you're thinking whenever you talk and you're getting feedback from younger adults, what is it that impressed you in life? Who do you look up to? Who are like your heroes, so to speak? And then you're thinking about the initial ones to start off with, athletes. They play soccer, football, basketball, baseball. They're a celebrity. They're a movie star. And what people would say over and over again, Mike, in the majority of cases is it was Mrs. Smith. It was Mr. Jones. And when the behavioralists would ask folks, well, tell me about Mrs. Smith. And they would say, how well did you know her? So I didn't really know her at all. And the behavioralist, the person doing the interviewing, asked them the question would be, well, how did they impress you? How are they such a role model for you? How did they impress you so much? And they'll say, I just saw her. She lived down the street from me. And I just saw how she took care of her husband who had Parkinson's or whatever it is. You could fill in whatever the struggle was with, whatever the challenge was with, and how she took care of him for years. I just saw that. And now never had a conversation with Mrs. Smith, never had any interaction or anything, but those actions spoke so loudly that one of her top idols in their life, who they would aspire to be, was Mrs. Smith. It could be Mr. Jones on what he did in the community, what he did for his mother. His mom lived with him, whatever it is. But all of these heartfelt stories, this is where it happens. So this is success. This is success, that you start with loving and respecting yourself, because it can't come out until you have it inside of you. So it starts with you loving and respecting yourself. That's one. And 1A is loving and respecting your fellow brothers and sisters and making this world a better place. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for, to share that. I'll do one more concept to live by today, Mikey. The next one that you have queued up for me is suggestions. And as always, you got some powerhouse concepts. So suggestions, it's often been stated by the universe that suggestions are the most powerful force in the entire universe. And it's almost one of those things that I talk about a lot, about that first domino. So suggestions are the sort of initial domino that knocks over thousands or millions or more of dominoes in your subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind, even aside from what we're talking about, aside from talking about manifesting, the law of attraction, if you just go and take a look at empirical research, at academic research, you'll see the research that 95% of what you and I and all of our fellow brothers and sisters accomplish is accomplished in that bowl, the bottom half. So I talk about draw that large circle around your head, put a horizontal line through the middle, put a C on the top for conscious mind, put an SC on the bottom for subconscious mind, put one little line here, a smaller circle down below with a B in it for your body, a line up on each side for arms and hands, a line down on each side for legs and feet. And it's in his subconscious mind. This is the miracle zone here, your subconscious mind. This is, even if we're not talking about law of attraction or manifesting, this is where 95% of what you accomplish on life, this is where it happens. This is where it comes from your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind takes action on suggestions. Now, there's two types of suggestions. There's suggestions that come to you from the outside, and there's suggestions that you offer yourself. Auto suggestions from yourself to yourself. So today we're talking about the one you have queued up, Mikey, is suggestions. So I'll go just with the pure definition. So these are suggestions. And again, remember that top half of that circle, it looks like a dome. And I love that. That's your shield. That is your shield. Your conscious mind, your thinking mind, your objective mind is your line of defense to protect your subconscious mind. And my fellow brothers and sisters, you need to protect, and you get to protect your subconscious mind at all costs. At all costs. You reject with your conscious mind. You reject, you cancel. If you hear something that's negative, bad, places you in a low vibration, in a state of disharmony, whatever it is, you hear something that is against your values, you know that it's incorrect, you just can't let it go. You reject it, you cancel it. You can just say, nope, I'm not taking it in. You can say, I refuse to take the bait. I'm just not taking the bait. I refuse to take the bait. I am never giving up my heaven on earth. I am never giving up my heaven on earth. You can say, I refuse to participate. Whatever you're most comfortable with, you can flip the script, completely flip the script on whatever comes at you, completely turn it around and say, I am so happy and grateful now that, and whatever that negative comment that was made, because of, I'm going to be phenomenally successful. I am so happy and grateful now that because I'm born and raised in Kenya, that I'm going to be phenomenally successful. That's one of the ones I teach in the students from Kenya when I have them in class, and they love that. They love it. So suggestions, you have to remember suggestions, any suggestion into your subconscious mind. You are the king. You are the queen. You are the ruler. You are the all-powerful, in control person of your subconscious mind. And universal law is your subconscious mind does and must take action on every suggestion offered to it, every single suggestion. So you never allow a negative or bad or low vibration suggestion ever to come into your world. Never allow that. So suggestions, one of the most powerful forces, Mikey, in the entire universe.
Um, it's true. Suggestions are so important. And if you think about it, there's a reason that like restaurants, places that you work, places that you shop at, they all have a suggestion box, if you think about it. So you want to fill that box up with suggestions, kind of like your subconscious mind. But unless you take action, those suggestions aren't going to help you with anything. And suggestions are meant to be a positive change. So if you have a good leader, a good manager, a good coach, they're going to take those suggestions that are in that box and help you learn to work with them. That's how I look at it in a way.
Very,
So,
very powerful. Very
yes.
powerful.
And speaking of, being a good coach and looking at these suggestions, Papi's a great coach on manifesting the law of attraction, and he has a coaching tip for us today. Papi, would you like to share that with us?
Yes, Mikey, this is another very, very powerful one that if we can think manifest the law of attraction, manifest coaching tip today. And this is the universe. If we can just think again to put ourselves in a good or great vibration, that the universe, you are loved so much, however much you think you're loved, multiply that, like young children will say, multiply that times a gazillion, multiply it times a gazillion is how much you're loved. And there is help and resources all around you at all times. But as you've heard me say an awful lot, you have to ask. You have to ask. Ask, believe, and receive. That's about as simple as I can make it. You ask and you believe and you will receive. Ask, believe, and receive. So one of the great helps that I think of, Mike, I can't think of a greater one from the universe is, and again, to set this up, we talk about there's a lot of emotions that are high vibration. There's a lot of emotions that are low vibration. Love, joy, sharing, happiness, laughter, great high vibrations, anger, despondency, conflict, violence, whatever else it may be, jealousy, or really low vibrations. So just think about vibrations. What generates those, Mikey, are emotions that flow through us. So just say, make it real simple. There's good emotions and bad emotions, just to make it simple for us to understand. So there's all these ones. Just call them good or bad, plus up top, minus on the bottom. So they're good or bad. And thank goodness for all of these mechanisms and safety nets and support systems with the universe. But it's all about, we have to understand it, Mikey. And that's what I'm here for. That's my job, is to inform and share this message and teach. So once we are informed and we've been taught the rules of the game of life and the rules of the game, now we can apply those and start to really succeed. And one of the ones, Mike, I can't think of a more fantastic, loving structure from the universe, safety net, however you want to take a look at it, is the way that the universe has structured this is that your higher self is right next to you at all times. You want to think part of your spiritual spark, part of the universal subconscious mind and your subconscious mind, but you get feedback as a human being all day long from your higher self. And it's very straightforward. When you're in a bad vibration, a low emotion, a bad emotion, and you don't feel good, you're just uncomfortable. This doesn't feel right. I'm not happy. You're putting out bad vibrations, low vibrations. You're in a bad emotion. Pick any one of these dozens of bad emotions and feelings that you can have. What your higher self is telling you right then, you're getting immediate coaching feedback. Get out. This isn't right. This isn't you. You don't want to be here. End it as soon as possible. That's your higher self. I mean, I can't think of that's a reason just to take the day off today and just go have a holiday, just go have a celebration. You have your higher self inside of you in concert with universal intelligence that loves you so much. It says, I'm going to give you second by second feedback and let you know when you're on the right path or the wrong path. Now, the other part is when we're in a great vibration, we're in a great emotion, we're in a high vibration, sending out high frequencies, a high emotion, we're happy, it's a good emotion. That, again, is direct feedback from your higher self. This is great. You're doing great. Keep it up. Stay in this zone. Do some more of it. Look for this in the future. Recognize this. You want to place yourself in these situations. You want to enjoy this feeling. This is where, so again, Mikey, one of the questions I get asked, and everybody's heard me say this, I get asked all the time, Pappy, you really turned me on to this. Now that you've turned me on to it, can you please teach me how to manifest? I want to start manifesting. And I tell our fellow brothers and sisters, everybody's heard me say, fellow brother and sister, you manifested everything in your life. You've manifested everything in your life. Everything right now that you are enjoying and living today, yesterday, last week, last month, last year, you manifested all that. So now, do we want to manifest proactively or reactively with pluses or with minuses? That's what this is all about. So this is about you proactively creating, co-creating with universal intelligence. And this is the greatest feedback system ever. There's never any guessing or any doubt. When you're in that low vibration, when you don't feel right, and when you're in a low vibration, lower bad emotions, lower bad feelings, you're there. Your higher self is telling you, get out as soon as you can. Get out of here. Change it. Don't come back to this place again. Stay away from these situations, etc. And what I like to focus on more is the great high vibrations. And these high vibrations, you're sending out great high frequencies. And you want to place yourself on, like I said, at the highest level possible. So whoever answered that's going to give you a great, great, great answer rather than setting your cell phone on the floor and then dialing that number at a very low vibration. That's what you're going to attract. So again, brothers and sisters, you are a magnet and you will attract what you send out. you will attract what you send out. You will become what you think, you will attract what you feel, and you'll create what you imagine. So you generate this and you will attract it unto yourself. So thank goodness, Mikey, for our higher selves. I call this like our harmony barometer. How much are we in harmony? Are we in harmony or aren't we? We want to be in harmony. We want to be in alignment. We want to be in flow. You're doing this work. You're starting to go through this. You're starting to do affirmations. You could be doing prayer, mantra, journaling. You're sitting in your power. You're opening your mind up. You're asking the universe to let me know. I want to know what I want. I want to know what I want. Even some folks are having challenges on knowing what they want to start the process. You're doing all this great work. You're starting off your day. You're winning your morning. You're working on winning your day. Pay attention. This feedback is coming to you 24/7, 365, and it is 100% accurate, as you can imagine, all day, every day. Please pay attention. And again, what do we say? What we said before, Mikey, you've got those two like barometers that you've got going on. This is your positive and this is your negative. Let's just move this up, get the positive up 1% and or get the negative down 1%. You've improved by 1% today. Some days then you start increasing the positive and decreasing the negative. It doesn't take a gazillion, to use the word from earlier, days in a row, 1% of getting 1% better for you to have a quantum leap. And this is where you 10x your life. And you'll look back a year from now, barely recognize where you're at. 5 years from now, you won't recognize at all that you will have grown so much because you're in harmony, you're in alignment, and you're in flow with the universe. And this is the number one technique to use to get in touch with yourself, your higher self, and recognize all day long what harmony are you in, what vibration are you in, what emotion are you in. Is it a plus or is it a minus? Is it good or is bad? Is it good or is it bad? And then continually to follow that, to stay in harmony with that and follow that. And that's a fail-safe recommendation for success right there, Mikey, just to get in tune with yourself and follow that and use that as your guidance. And that's your number one guidance system that the universe has given you. The universe could not have created a better guidance system for all of us.
Oh, that's great. I love that the universe kind of gave us just another tool in our toolbox to like give us like a built-in feedback harmony barometer. I love that phrase. It's kind of like it's like having a mood map, sort of like you choose what path you want to follow, and then you just head in that direction. And the barometer kind of just lets you know when you're getting off track. So it's the only job that you have is to like pick up on these indicators. You just have to be aware of them. And like you said, stay away from the guilt and the anger and the doubt side of the barometer and stay on the side of positivity and gratitude and love. And then you're aligned with your higher self and nothing can make you feel better than that. So just listen
Yes.
to yourself, just follow your barometer. The universe is giving these signs to us. Just pay attention to them.
Yes.
And
Pretty pleased, I would say, Mikey. Pretty pleased.
yeah. And one thing that makes you feel better, like you said, gratitude, but also your daily affirmations. I know it's part of your ritual. And like you mentioned a little bit earlier, I am so happy and grateful now that, and you just reject all that negativity and flip the script, like you like to say. And your affirmation for us is, I am so happy and grateful now that.
Yes, thanks, Mikey. And we're using these, and I remind everyone, Mikey, customize these to your liking. You always want to start off with I am, and I always spell am, capital A, capital M. I am so happy, so happy. Just saying the word happy raises your elevation. I am so happy and grateful. So gratitude is the automatic. It's like the get out of jail free card or go directly and collect $200 when you go around the board on the game board Monopoly, I think it is, Mikey. So it's like a guaranteed win. And when you're in gratitude, when you're thankful, when you're appreciative, when you're grateful, you're going directly into harmony with the universe, directly into alignment, directly into flow. That's where you'll manifest anything you can imagine. So the affirmation for today, and again, customize this for yourself. I recommend starting off with I am so happy and grateful now, always in the present, now that. So I am so happy and grateful now that I give to every man and woman with whom I interact a use value in excess of the cash value I receive from them. So much so that each transaction makes for more life. And I hold the advancing thought in my mind so that my impression of increase is communicated to all with whom I come into contact. This one, Mikey, just to unpack this a little bit, thinking about every man and woman. So you want to get away from judging people. We don't want to judge at all. If you judge others, you will be judged. You'll be judged with the same exact barometer. It's not going to work out well. So we don't judge our fellow brothers and sisters. We would never do that. That's not our job. We don't judge others. We love others. We love others. We share love with them. We want to love them. We want to improve their lives. So we want to deliver to every man and woman. So I think of, one of my other affirmations. I am so happy and grateful now that I treat every person I come into contact with as if they're the most important person on earth. I'm telling you, Mikey, if our fellow brothers and sisters can just say that affirmation, Earl Nightingale talked about this. If we can just say that affirmation for 30 days in a row, just to do for like 30 days in a row, it can and will change your life. You're not judging people, and you start to interact with your brothers and sisters, and it goes so much better. Let's just say you're in a town, and it doesn't have to be like the busiest city, but just say if you were to walk down a street, say you work in a town, and you walk down the street and there's a coffee shop, no matter how many blocks away it is, but if you walked past 10 people and you didn't say hello to those 10 people, and they didn't say hello back to you, law of attraction, you're going to attract what you're putting out. Now, what if you're walking down a coffee shop and you proactively, unilaterally yourself, say hi to the other person before they say hi to you once you're approaching them when it's appropriate? Good morning, good afternoon. How are you doing today? Not all 10 are going to say good morning, good afternoon, hello back. But I'm telling you, Mikey, the majority of them are. 6, 7, 8, 9 of them are, maybe 10, but the majority are. How much has your life improved? You're saying good morning, good afternoon. You're greeting your fellow brothers and sisters. You're making eye contact with them. You know that they exist, that you see them, and that they're somebody. And you said that first. And you put it out there. You're a bigger person. You know somebody's maybe going to be having a bad day. They won't say hello or something. You want more people to say hello to you? Say hello to more people. You want more people to thank you? Thank more people. You want more people to shake your hand? Shake more people's hands. This is the law of attraction. This is manifest. This is how it works. You can have the life that you want no matter how you want it. And a lot of times, Mikey, we're thinking about all these real big. I was talking to a young gentleman the other day, and younger folks. This gentleman is in his early 20s, and I just love it because even like younger teenagers or teenagers who are a little bit older, I just their minds are so wide open, and they're just popping popcorn and just all these ideas. And he said, "Papi, I got it down." Yeah, I said, "I got it down. I got my 10x goal. I got it down." He says, "I want to be a billionaire." And I'm like, "Well, that's a big goal." I said, "We can manifest anything we can imagine. That's the rules with the universe." And I said, "But what I would suggest is just one modification to that." And he said, "What's that, Papi?" And I am so happy and grateful now. Instead of being a billionaire and having $1 billion, I am so happy and grateful now that I have delivered $1 billion in value. That I have delivered $1 billion in value to my fellow brothers and sisters. You'll get your $1 billion, but deliver $1 billion in value to your fellow brothers and sisters. That's what you want to manifest, is helping your fellow brothers and sisters and loving them and helping them. So if you treat every person that you meet as if they're the most important person on earth, then right after that, I say, I am so happy and grateful now that I treat every person I meet as if they're the most important person on earth, starting with myself every single morning. It's so important, Mikey. If our fellow brothers and sisters, when our fellow brothers and sisters, Mikey, don't love themselves and don't respect themselves, they're sort of, for lack of a better word, breaking a connection with the universe. Because the universe says, if you have any clue how much, this is universal intelligence speaking, source energy speaking, if you have any clue how much I love you, if you have any clue how much I respect you, if you have any clue how special you are, if you have any clue how you can have anything, be anything, do anything, if you have any clue that I've given you the greatest power in the entire universe, I have placed creative power within you. If you have any clue how special you are, I've given you a perfect spirit, a perfect spiritual DNA, and a perfect spiritual spark, the same spark that's in me. You are an extension of source energy. You have the same DNA in you. We all have the same spiritual spark and DNA in all of us, all 8 billion plus of our fellow brothers and sisters. And it all came from one place, from source energy. And source energy says, I've given you all this. What we were talking about a little bit ago, Mikey, the wonderful guidance system, the wonderful harmony barometer to stay in harmony that universal intelligence gave us. And source energy says, giving you all this. I'm like bent over backwards. I've got these resources all around you 24/7, 365. And if you don't appreciate that, it really breaks that connection. So universal intelligence, and that's what folks like me are for, Mikey, way showers, whatever you want to call it. And I hope there's a whole bunch out there who are here to inform and let our fellow brothers and sisters know how special they are. So you're here to deliver more in use value than cash value. You're not here to take advantage of someone. You're not here to get over on someone. You're not here to obfuscate and take more out of their pocket than you should. You're here to enhance them and make their lives better so that each transaction makes for more life. And then you hold this advancing thought in your mind. So, Mikey, that advancing thought is when you're walking down the street. You want to talk about the behavioral scientists, Mikey, when they interview people, they'll interview and said, how are you doing today? They'll say, I'm having a really good day. Say they're talking to them in the evening, at the end of the day, after work, maybe even after they had dinner. How are you doing today? They're saying, I had a great day today. I had a really great day. Oh, well, tell me about your day. What made your day so great? And people say this all the time. They'll say, you know what? I was walking down to get a cup of coffee this morning. I'm walking down the street. Usually people are, you get a bad vibe, this and that. This woman, she went out of her way to wish me a good morning and say, I hope you have a great day. She said, that made my entire day. I mean, we are not in touch with enough how important these things are for our fellow brothers and sisters to be seen. And what are they doing, Mikey? Their subconscious mind is picking up on a lot more than this. Just like Yafar was picking up on a lot more that didn't even know anything about manifesting or law of attraction. They're picking up on that great vibration. They're picking up that this person is saying hello to me, good morning, has love in their heart, and they have love for me. This person cares about them. They're picking up on all that. There's a lot more that's going on than just saying just good morning. So this is how much I'm just reminding you, fellow brothers and sisters, that you can help others. The universe tells me over and over, Mikey, they say, Pappy, even if you're doing what you do, and if you think you're going to have 100 people that would show up for a workshop you're doing, and only one person shows up, they said, Pappy, you never, ever, ever treat that just like one person. They said that one person, the conversations you can have with them, and the universe is a lot more complex. Like I talk all the time, Mikey. All we can understand is one little string, one little strand of fiber out of an entire woman's winter coat. I say, Pappy, you treat that one person as if it's 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000, that you can help 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000 other people by the energy that you send out, by the advice, by the love, by the sharing, by the information, by the suggestions, everything that you do, because other fellow brothers and sisters of ours who are having that same challenge, and maybe just this one person as we're talking to, that our thoughts, Mikey, are so powerful, and that positive energy can go out and can drop into these other fellow brothers and sisters and can enhance their life, even without them being present right there at that actual presentation, if they have the same needs and wants in their life. So I implore you, my fellow brothers and sisters, don't ever underestimate how powerful you are, and the ability that you have to help your fellow brothers and sisters beyond your wildest estimation. So every even little small deed is very, very powerful. And please treat it accordingly. Please, I implore you.
Pappy, you really are a great coach because your affirmations are like a pep talk. Like, I want to go out there now and greet all my fellow brothers and sisters and make their day, basically just turn their day around just by going out there and saying hello. So you make it exciting. So thank you for that. And now it's time for our speed manifest dating questions. If you have a question for Pappy, you can submit it by going to the website and clicking on the Ask Pappy link at the top. And we have a great question today for Pappy. How does manifesting differ from the law of attraction?
Yes, and Mikey, as I have a habit to do, and you are a great coordinator for the show, who runs the show, you stimulate a lot of ideas, and I tend to expand my answers, so I tend to go long. So thank you so much, because I think hopefully we're adding value for our fellow brothers and sisters, making this real, talking on an everyday level with them. So I'll do one question today. And the first one, again, is a Hall of Fame type question. How does manifesting differ from the law of attraction? So thank you for that, Mikey, for setting it up. I would start off with the big picture. Manifesting And if it's manifesting, the first thing I always like you to get in your mind is you are the creator. You are the creator. You are the creator of your reality. That's what it's about. You're manifesting your reality. You're manifesting your life, your experiences, manifesting everything in your life. The universe says that the supermajority of the life you're experiencing right now, as of today and enjoying, has been manifested over the last minutes, hours, days, weeks, and months. And I always say months as in less than 12 months, less than a year. The majority, supermajority. So the good part about that is you can turn this around. Not going to take you 10 years to turn things around. Not going to take you that long. So manifesting, you create your own reality. Law of attraction, Mikey, what I like to get our fellow brothers and sisters to think of is very first, when law of attraction pops into their mind, that like attracts like attracts like. And even easier, Mikey, I like to have our brothers and sisters get an image in their mind of a magnet. You are a magnet. You will attract unto you. You will attract unto you what you are thinking, the vibrations you're putting out. You will become what you think. That's what you'll attract you. What you're thinking is what you'll become. That's what you'll attract. That's the law of attraction. That's like attracting like. You're thinking great things are going to be attracted to you. You're going to become great. You're thinking poor things are going to be attracted. You'll become poor. So you'll become what you think. You attract what you feel. These vibrations that you're sending out are all on frequencies. I could quote Nikola Tesla every show, Mikey. I could quote, when I just read Nikola Tesla's quotes and Albert Einstein, I read these quotes from the greatest math doctors, the greatest quantitative minds. And I understand there's other brilliant people out there across the globe, but these gentlemen were geniuses. Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla says, if you want to understand the secrets of the world and the secrets of the universe, he said, understand energy, understand vibrations, and understand frequencies. He's not talking about quadratic equations and dangling or exponential to the whatever power and math. He's talking about energy and vibration and frequencies, and that's what we're talking about here. Is the vibration that is coming out of you is on a frequency, and you are. If you could think of yourself when you're driving your car and you see these real big towers, these broadcast towers, they're sending out a signal. So what you're sending out, so let's say if the signals go from 90 to 110, like from 90, 90.1, 90.2, et cetera, all the way up to 110, if 110 is the highest and the best, you want a broadcasting tower, you're sending out 110 or you're sending out 109.9. You don't want to be sending out 90 or 90.1, 90.2. So you are a broadcasting tower. Like attracts like. What you send out from your broadcasting tower, how high you hold your cell phone when you make that call, or how low you place that cell phone when you make your call, that is what you're going to attract. So manifesting, you create your own reality, and specifically the law of attraction, like attracts like. You are a magnet and you will attract unto you. If you're thinking good, you're going to attract good. If you're thinking bad, you're going to attract bad. So it gets back earlier, Mikey, we said about that harmony barometer. Please, I implore you, pay attention to the emotion that you're feeling. That is direct feedback from your higher self. If it's a great emotion, keep on doing it. And not just about that emotion. At that time, Mikey, I want to tell our fellow brothers and sisters, what you'll start to notice is, you'll be like, Papi, I see a pattern here. That's great. I want you to see a pattern. You'll say, when I'm in certain situations around certain people, I'm up here and or down here. So you want to pay attention. You want to place yourself in those high vibration situations more. You want to place yourself in low vibration situations less. And again, Rome wasn't built overnight. If you're doing something and you're one of these vibrations, you're interacting with a family member, something that's like 1 hour every other day, say 4 days a week, maybe you reduce that to 40 minutes instead of an hour. And maybe it goes from 4 days a week down to 3 days a week. So you start to manage these, but you're getting direct feedback that's 100% accurate, direct from universal intelligence through your higher self, giving you the answer, like the final answers to an A+ answer to everything for your final exam. So thank you, Mikey, for a great question today. And I'll be looking forward to what you have coming towards me next week on questions.
I knew that would be a great question because that was a great answer. There's a lot of information that you gave. Let's just answer that one simple question. So thank you for that. And I know earlier in the show that you mentioned just how powerful your Audible book can be, just having it on in the background and listening to it. And I thought that was a great suggestion. Instead of like, opening up your social media at the beginning of the day, put the book on instead. Just start like when your morning, when your day. And there's no better way to do that than with the Audible book. But also the physical copy of the book is a great tool. It's a great tool to have because you could just have it there. If you're feeling you need to reset your day, refocus, just open that book up. There are so many positive quotes in that book. And the quotes from you specifically are just a great way to reset and refocus. And I know that you're going to share a quote from us today from your paperback book.
Yes, Mikey, thank you so much. This is a quote directly out of the book, and I love sharing these with our audience and then unpacking them just a little bit. We're coming around the bend here. So the quote, Mikey, thank you for queuing us up from chapter 16 in the paperback. You will find that every difficulty, problem, and challenge carry within them the solution for their overcoming and a greater opportunity for significant advancement going forward. Papi DiNuzzo. And Mikey, this one, again, I remind us all the time, and don't get me wrong, Mikey, obviously I'm human. I'm very human. I'm even more human than most of our listeners, most of our fellow brothers and sisters. And this difficulty and problem, because we tend to see a lot of these. So we talk about fear, I guess, Mikey. That's one of the most common emotions that our fellow brothers and sisters have. They have fear, they have doubt. There's a number of other ones, but fear shows up a lot. And I think of fear, F-E-A-R, fear, false evidence, F-E, false evidence, A-R, appearing real. So anytime that you are fearful for anything, always try to put that acronym in your mind. I find that it helps me an awful lot. Pappy, this is false evidence appearing real. Now, I don't like to buttress the teachings, what I do, Mikey, from coaching and teaching from a spiritual perspective, but sometimes when the facts are, they are the facts. And the number is around 90% or a little bit over 90%. When, again, you go out and take a look at folks and what they're fearful of, the times that it comes to fruition, that it actually happens, it does not happen in approximately 90% or more of the instances. So I want you to eliminate that. Now, when you run into a difficulty or problem, the universe has stated that in every difficulty, problem, or challenge, that they have included and embedded the answer or solution to that difficulty or problem within the problem. They've given you the answer within the problem. And don't get me wrong, Mikey, I've gone back numerous times. I'm human. I've gone back. I'm like, are you certain, universal intelligence? Pappy, it's in there every time. Those are the rules. It must be. It always is. The answer is always contained within the problem. So a lot of times, Mikey, we as human beings, when we get these problems or difficulties or challenges coming at us, man, we sort of like get blown away. And we're doing this to ourselves. We get like sort of mentally locked down. I got this difficulty, this problem, this challenge. It's just like, it's insurmountable. It's so heinous. It's so much everything else. Slow your roll. If you can just start to think initially in this process, okay, this may, from a human perspective, look like a difficulty, a problem, or a challenge. But when you start to know, K-N-O-W, when you start to know that the answer or the solution are within that. So what I say, I like these little visuals, Mikey. I like them for myself. And I think some other fellow brothers and sisters that I teach and I coach are strong visually as well. So I started thinking about it as, okay, there's a difficulty, a problem, or challenge coming at me. Where is that gold nugget in there? It looks ugly initially from a human perspective. I'm like, no, there's a gold nugget in there somewhere. Let me find that 24 karat piece of gold, that gold nugget in there. Now, Mikey, once we start to understand that the universe, as it does everything, to be as fair as possible and as helpful as possible, gives us the solution and answer in there. And let's think of that as a gold nugget. Well, what happens, Mikey, is when we're looking for that gold nugget, not every time, not every other time, but on a fair enough occasion, when we're looking for that gold nugget in that problem or solution or challenge, what's in there, Mikey? Not a gold nugget, a diamond. And what does that diamond represent, Mikey? That represents our quantum leap forward. So what you'll find, fellow brothers and sisters, is you will win your morning and you'll win your day, and then you'll start winning more days than you're losing. And then you'll start winning even a higher percentage. And as you're winning, your life's improving. You're 10Xing yourself. You're improving your self-image of yourself. You're growing into your 10X self-image. Your self-confidence is increasing on a regular basis. And then, bam, just a quantum leap. You take it to the next level. You won't just keep, and it's wonderful, don't get me wrong, steady improvement, steady increase, but bam, you'll take it to the next level. Bam, you'll take it to another 10X level. So you will 10X your life, and 10X is what I use. I say synonymous with a quantum leap. I say a quantum leap is when you're 10Xing your life, when you're 10Xing your life. So again, you'll find that every difficulty, problem, and challenge carry within them the solution for their overcoming. And that is, in plain English, the answer. Visually, I look at that there's a gold nugget in there, a 24-karat gold nugget. And I'm never assuming the diamond, but the diamond's in there a good bit. And that's not just a solution or an answer. That's a solution and answer that's going to 10X your life. It's going to provide you with a quantum leap forward regarding health, wealth, happiness, love, relationships, partner, career, promotion, supervisory, whatever it is that you have as your 10X goal, you're going to 10X it, and it's going to come to you, that answer solution, what initially appeared to be a difficulty, a problem, or a challenge. So look at them as good things, because the universe, Mikey, again, one last time, we're here to express, expand, increase, and grow. And the way the universe sends it through me is, it's almost like our heartbeat, Mikey, like the entire, our world, the entire universe has been growing for a time that's beyond our comprehension. We'll use that gazillions of words, gazillions of years again. And it looks to me, when I look at the entire thing, Mikey, I look at the entire thing and I hear the human heartbeat, bump, 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 bump. And it's expanding every time, every heartbeat, it's expanding. But when it goes bump, bump, it stops at that point. So it can't just be a free flow of just constant, unfettered growth and expansion. There's that learning process that comes in. That's how everything moves forward. They call this the school of earth. We came here to learn, to further perfect our spirit. And that's how we do with problems and challenges. So when we come there, that's the golden nugget that's in there. Okay, bump, bump. And the universe is saying, yes, we're at a pause here, but I got a lot of help in there for you. I've got the solution. I got the answer. I got the gold nugget. And I'm throwing diamonds in there from time to time to give you your quantum leap. So thank you so much for that one, Mikey. That was just sort of one sort of little simple phrase for a quote from the book, but there's just so much to unpack in there and share with our brothers and sisters. So thank you for setting me up, and thank you for your patience and me going pretty deep on that one.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. What a great way to wrap up our show today, too, reminding us all to look at today's challenges as opportunities instead, and always searching for that gold nugget. So thank you for that. That's a great way to end the show. If you're new to Papi Mindset Coach, be sure you're signed up on papimindsetcoach.com to receive Papi's free educational emails and get access to upcoming live events conducted by Papi to help you manifest the health, wealth, and happiness of your dreams. And one additional reminder, please remember to subscribe and share our Papi Mindset Coach on all your social media links. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mikey. Namaste to everyone. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
That's a wrap for this episode of Manifest Anything You Can Imagine podcast. Keep those dreams big and your mindset unstoppable. Take one step today toward the life you're manifesting, because you can create anything you imagine. If you can think it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Visit papimindsetcoach.com for more resources, and follow us at Papi Mindset Coach on social platforms for daily inspiration. If you love this episode, share it with someone ready to transform their life. Until next time, stay focused, stay positive, and keep on manifesting your best life. See you soon.